Billin, Uptown Murph.
Top Billin villains.
Yo, if you're a Philadelphia Eagle fan, you have to be excited about potentially taking a weakness and making it a strength. Now, before I get to the secondary, I want to tell you guys to make sure that you're sharing the content on social media in the whole nine. Take it to message boards and tell people Top Billin is where it's at. Also, make sure you're liking the content and make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. Now, taking a weakness and making it a strength, the secondary, absolutely horrific last year. Definitely an Achilles heel. One of these spots that you thought that if they were to get that together, the Philadelphia Eagles could definitely go to the promised land like most expected it to go, right? But secondary problems as far as injuries go, as far as underperforming with guys like James Bradbury, right? And speaking of, right, I'll address that right quick. James Bradbury at safety to me is a non-starter. You talk about putting him out in space, the way he would have to quickly decipher, flip his hips, work potentially a deep third of the field, right? Or being a post safety. I don't know. I don't see how that fits his skill set. In my opinion, I don't see how he's on the team to begin with. Obviously, it's a money thing, but if it were just a performance thing or him fitting in to the current landscape of the roster, I don't see where he plays. If you look at what's coming out of camp, albeit minicamp, right? No actual real football going on. 7-on-7, 11-on-11. You can say it's a part of football, but when those pads come on, real football players rise to the top. Some people are allergic to contact. Some people, right, can't work with the threat of contact and do their duties diligently. So keep that in mind. But the return on investments with certain people like an Isaiah Rodgers, right? Isaiah Rodgers definitely doing the damn thing out there from what we hear. One of these people I said before, man, with his type of agility, his type of explosiveness, as far as being able to break on the ball, it's going to be hard to keep him off the field. And they're looking at him as an outside corner. Yeah, I can dig it. No doubt about that there. Obviously, you drafted a couple of guys, right? And Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. And last year, like I said before, you had two rookies who also got a lot of shine at the end of the year, whether it be through injuries or through lack of performance. And Kelee Ringo, who I'll be talking about primarily here, and of course Eli Ricks. Both of those guys getting a lot of love out there. Doubling and flipping, right? You know what I'm saying? If you're like me and you talk about doubling and flipping, right? No, I'm going to leave that in the past right there. You know what I mean? That's another lifetime ago, right? But being able to flip your roster like that and that secondary, still having Darius Slay on the team as well, albeit I would have to imagine just for a year, Jesus, man, that is scary. That's a scary amount of athletic talent. All those guys are very, very good athletes. Throw in a Reed Blankenship. Throw in C.J. Gardner, my man Chauncey. Throw in Sidney Brown. You know what I'm saying? All the safeties in there. Outstanding work by your man. This is how we do. But Kelee Ringo, I want to talk about Kelee Ringo, somebody that I have tons and tons and tons of hours labbed on, being as though before last year, Georgia was the primary cover of my entire career, right, along with the early portion of it with Alabama. But Georgia, up until this channel, up until me switching to primarily covering the NFL, Georgia was that. So I've worked camps, right? Personally worked camps that Kelee Ringo was at, and I always thought the guy was highly overrated. And this is nothing new to the channel. This is something that most people know, or everyone should know if you follow me. But that's not saying that this guy in the future couldn't be something otherworldly, right? I'm talking about 6'2", 215 pounds, 4.3 speed. The way he's put together, right? No diddy. That man looks like $10 million for sure. However, labbing it, and of course all the film studies that I did covering Georgia on a daily basis, I always thought that this man had those plexiglass diving board hips, unable to get out of transitions and stems. That's his Achilles heel. So seeing the stuff in camp, I'm like, okay, that's what's up right there. Him defending the deep pass. You see it? People talking about him breaking up the vertical route, going against John Ross, who we know is a vertical threat only. So those type of players like that feed into Kelee Ringo. He will, to me, be very competitive with those guys. I want to see when the bullets fly. Can my man change direction? Can he get out of those stems? Can he work 7 routes? Or can he work comebacks and curls? And can he work slants? And you know what I'm saying? We seen what Marvin Harrison did to him. All kinds of guys, all up and down, right? The schedule, and it is what it is. As a matter of fact, let's take a check. Let's check out something right here.
That's not the case. Look at him rep against this curl route here. Hands on man. Look at that step, come back, and look at the early pandemic separation on this curl route. Right, that's that. I'm talking about the week 1 when we found out what COVID was. That's the type of separation everybody had, no matter where you went right there. And then check this out after the catch. Look at Tillman. Put that foot in the ground here, and my man is just completely social distancing himself. Look at that. Come on, man. What are we doing? He's running up and down the field. It just looks like he's going through the motions. This is where cornerback play is derived at. Not everything is going to go deep. 95% of the reps you work with are going to be more in the quick and mid-range game, especially in this day and age. But come on, man. Look at this. I don't understand what anybody's talking about if they saw this type of stuff from this man. That's not a competitive rep at all. And stop with the excuses like he didn't want to get beat deep or they didn't want him to get beat deep. That's a scheme thing. That's why you would play a 2-deep shell. There's your help over the top. Look at that. Who's that right there? Chris Smith. So that's help over the top. That means you need to be competitive within the framework of the defense, which would be what 90 to 95% of the plays are going to be, which is the quick and mid-range game against this particular offense here. If you're competitive against that, you disallow a rhythm, and then you definitely disallow something big to happen underneath the where, hey, they could break a tackle and move the chains just as explosively, too. And still not get beat deep. Get the fuck out of here. What are you talking about? Come on, man. You're giving up stuff like this. Check this out right here. This is man-to-man coverage, right? Look at him. Off the gate, get up. Look, you got to let a man separate. Come on. You know that's going to draw a flag. This is the shit he's been doing to me all 2 years that he's been playing. Now, look at him, right? The kid looks like a straight-up freak. He's a first-round draft pick through and through. Even as bad as I think he is, right? I think he's average at best, but he's still a freak athlete out there. You're going to want to coach that up if you think you're a good coach, because these are the guys who end up being something special because they just have gifts that other people don't have. But from a play standpoint, nah, he ain't got it like that, Jack. Look, my man right here falling off the cliff, no hands-on man. He wants to get hands-on man down the field. You want to get hands-on man down the field, this ain't the time to do it. Not in transition. Look at that. That's a bear hug. What is that going to do? That's your shutdown corner? Come on, my man's trying to separate. He's like, come on, man, get up off me. Come on, man, this man's like a sexual predator out there or something. Come here, girl. Come here. You see it right here? Same kind of deal. Hands-on man, look at him. Come on. There's a way to transition from a curl to where you can run the receiver or you can run the route for the receiver. Look at that. Once again, early pandemic separation there. And, of course, you can see, once again, this man's having to go up for the ball, man. He's super inaccurate in this game here, but this guy has some serious Cedric Tillman is the truth. But you think they want to just give up first downs? Like, what are we talking about here?
He's an old school coach, and I definitely like that about him for sure. He has a scheme and he has strategies of the way he coaches, and I like that he sticks to that, you know, and all of us are definitely ready to buy into that.
All right, so you heard that. That man talking about new defensive coordinator Vic Fangio, and that is definitely one of the things that I wondered when Vic Fangio got on the roster, right? You just never know how somebody's new eyes or a new set of eyes would take to different personnel. So maybe he sees someone like Kelee Ringo, and he's like, damn, this is the exact type of frame, athleticism, and everything that I've dreamed of having, and if he would take someone like that under his wing. So having a veteran coach like Fangio who's seen so much football and been around so many great players, I think it's worth his weight in gold, and Kelee Ringo could definitely be the benefactor to that there. So let me know what you think about that, man. What do you think about Kelee Ringo's ability to get in and out of those transitions? We didn't get a chance to see that last year. Some of the schemes that they played in the little time that he did play wasn't really conducive to him being one-on-one defending against routes with breaks in the quick and mid-range game. So you can't really go by that. We'll just have to really see this year. I can't wait for training camp to start to see what's going on there and seeing him in some of the one-on-one reps. Obviously going against a guy like A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, right? Those guys are money in the quick and mid-range game. That's how they make a lot of their dough, and that's how it sets stuff up for them to go vertical because they are that great in the quick and mid-range game, right? So Kelee Ringo can get that together, man, with the type of athlete and the type of technique and agility that guys like Isaiah Rodgers and Quinion Mitchell and Cooper DeJean have. That is a scary thought if we're talking about the cornerback position. So let me know, right? It's your boy Jersey Murph as always. Much love to everybody out there tuning in. Make sure you tip your waiter, baby. You know I be serving that hibachi. And as always, much love. All right, salute.
What more can I say? Top Billin.